After over 60 optimized settings videos and 100 hours of tinkering, testing, and playing, I think I can finally provide my definitive thoughts on the Lenovo Legion Go 2, which I have dubbed the Masterclass and no compromise. As we venture into this journey, I want you to keep that thought in the back of your mind. Does the Legion Go 2 actually have a compromise? Is there a hard line in the sand that dings the premium price tag? A tangible fault that puts a chink in its armor? Before this video ends, I think we'll be able to answer that. Let's begin where it all starts, the build. From the kickstand to the True Strike controllers to the buttons, the OLED screen, the top coat finish, the micro SD slot, the button carve outs, two USB-C ports, the latest Bluetooth adapter, premium SSD, premium RAM, and the latest AMD APU in the Z2 Extreme. It all starts at the design table. When Lenovo created the original Legion Go, they wanted the user experience to be top class, but they failed. Not in quality, but in features. So when they set out to make the second generation, every selection pointed to one goal: make no mistakes. So what did they do? They shopped for the best OLED screen. They implemented the best VRR range, 30 to 144 Hertz. They used the best Hall effect analog sticks on the market. They improved the buttons and D-pad. They added customization buttons across the device. They included a carrying case, which others opted not to do. They offer best-in-class RAM at 32 gigs, larger battery, fingerprint sensor, better top-firing speakers, and a great Wi-Fi adapter. The list goes on, but the idea is the same. No compromises. So let's talk about some of that. An OLED screen at 1200p on a mobile device. Is that the sweet spot? I think so. The screen is definitively the best. Now, your interpretation of value of the screen or the resolution might be subjective, but the fact remains. This OLED panel has achieved something no other handheld has. They solved the VRR flicker and increased the range. That feels premium. Ergonomics, feel in hand. How do you make a subjective category definitive? You simply outpace the competition. Well, you might ask, well, BCD, how did they do that? Well, they provided all users 3 ways to play: FPS mode, controller mode, and handheld mode. Regardless of how you feel about the size, they outclass the competition in sheer options. And that feels premium. What makes a PC handheld both frustrating and special? Windows. If you're like me and feel like there is always something getting in the way of just gaming, fear not. Lenovo thought of that too. They provided an additional tab and home button directly on the controllers to relieve that frustration. It's completely customizable, of course, but paired with the scroll wheel on the back and the trackpad on the front, it feels like they truly thought about the cumbersome experience on Windows, and that feels premium. They continued the approach of the original Legion Go with the valuable back buttons for additional mapping. I don't know about you, but back buttons are a must on any handheld. You need every advantage you can get, especially in competitive shooters. And I would be wrong not to mention, like, again, that very fancy FPS mode in detachable controllers for a much more traditional experience. Performance. I won't bore you with the fine details. You can check out my optimized settings videos on the channel to get a full understanding of the performance. What I will say is 32 gigs of RAM plus a Z2 Extreme plus 30 to 144 Hertz VRR window is a match made in heaven for mobile gaming. Funny enough, you can't get anything better on the market right now. That too feels premium. Battery life. You can't find anything better. You just can't. For the most part, it's being matched but not beaten. As time goes on, I believe this APU will begin to shine even more because it's a low TDP champ. Most of my settings are recommended at a 20-watt TDP for a reason. It's just that good. Next, let's mention the good to haves. Bluetooth 5.3, fingerprint sensor, 2 USB-C ports again, micro SD slot, the ability to accept full fat M.2 2280 cards, and the carrying case. These are all decisions where they could have easily cut corners, but Lenovo did exactly what that price tag called for: no compromises. So as I step into the next phase of this conversation, please let me know in the comments What do you feel is a definitive compromise here? I think you'll be hard pressed to find one. Next, let's bring in some competition. I own the Steam Deck OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2. Honestly, these two items have been collecting dust since the Legion Go 2 arrived. It is 100% not about them being bad devices. But when I pick up my Steam Deck OLED, I am compromising on screen resolution, game availability, and performance. If I pick up my Switch 2, it feels like I should only be playing Nintendo games. It gives me a false sense that it lacks value when truly it just serves one purpose well. I'm starting to realize that serving one purpose no longer makes me a happy consumer. I need my device to do more. I can boot up Discord, I can run Arc Raiders, then open up a browser, watch YouTube or Netflix. The capabilities of Legion have truly shown the value of choice, and I can't see myself removing choice from my experience ever again. So what's on the horizon for the Legion Go 2? Just like most other handhelds, it will get better with time. Better Legion space for customization, better drivers for the APU, updated BIOS, native FSR4 if we are lucky. The thing about technology though is that it can be outclassed quickly. But the good thing about this device is that when you don't compromise but the competition does, you start to see how old devices have features that even new devices don't. That is a product worth buying into, in my opinion, of course. To me, I think we just might have received our first PS Vita of PC handhelds. Even though a new device might eventually come along and be technically more powerful, it will never see the same feature set. And that feels premium. With all that said, let's discuss some of the things that I bought to improve my experience. Because while there are no compromises, issues can still appear. Ergonomics. Sometimes you just need to play in handheld mode, and unfortunately, the Legion Go 2 is a beefy boy. The weight and size combination will make even the strongest person buckle. This is where the kickstand plus joystick caps come in. You will need to prop this thing up, but that doesn't alleviate the cramp in your right thumb. The dome joist caps significantly improve this. I no longer feel it during long sessions, so I would highly recommend you take a look at the links and pick up some for yourself. Storage. While downloads are fast thanks to that Wi-Fi adapter, 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes just won't cut it. This is the only configuration issue I will allow users to call a compromise, but storage is cheap right now. This thing goes from being a PC handheld to a full PC at 4 terabytes. Trust me, upgrade the storage. You will treat the device differently. Windows controls. Because this runs full fat Windows, you want a physical keyboard and trackpad. It makes configuration so much easier. I can't tell you how many times I needed to simply click or drag or drop something or hit a combination of things, and this thing came in clutch. A docking station also changes the game. Hooking up a monitor to this will make you wonder why you pay so much for that expensive desktop setup. Controller grips. The Legion Go charger connector not only doubles the battery life of the controllers, but it creates that familiar ergonomic feel we all love in a traditional controller. You can buy a 3D printed one for cheaper, but I enjoy the charge function, so I would recommend this one. It just elevates the controller mode experience. Screen protection. This is a glossy OLED, protected. Due to the sheer size of the device, it is prone to be damaged at some point. Buy a screen protector to protect that large screen. Get a case to protect that outer shell. Audio. You can't beat front firing speakers. You just can't. Buy some Bluetooth headphones. I bought these Lenovo earbuds on the TikTok shop for 22 bucks. They even match the default colors. Please don't overspend because you're still dealing with Bluetooth. Now, with that out of the way, let me give you my final verdict. To me, this is the best handheld you can buy. This is the most future-proofed handheld you can buy. The value of an item will always depend on the person, but if I break it down feature by feature, this is a no compromise, future-proof, special kind of device. It'll be around for a long time at the BCD household, just like those other unicorns. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.